Hello, my name is Weston Brightson, and for my final project I created a rosary counter. So the basic idea of my app was just to have a home screen with the total count in the center and a counter in the middle. The idea was that each time somebody came to pray a rosary, they would just pull out their app afterwards and hit the plus button to add a rosary to their count. And then maybe people wouldn't normally submit every time they prayed, so maybe like once a week they'd hit submit rosaries, and then their number along with the info that they put in their info tab would be submitted all at once. But unfortunately, on the home screen, I ran into this strange error when I tried to fetch results, or just when I tried to display data from my entity. So I kept getting this error: fetched results item, which was my entity name, has no member current count. And I checked multiple times. I tried copying and pasting the names. I tried recreating the entity, closing and reopening Xcode, and I couldn't find any way around this error. So instead, I just created a couple of state variables called count and total. And so that's what you see here. So unfortunately, though, these don't persist. These two numbers here don't persist when you close the app. The actual count and total are saved, but I couldn't find a way to display them on the home screen. And lastly, there's just a log screen where users would be able to see when the last time they logged a rosary was, or the last time they submitted their rosary count. Initially, I had both the date and the count appearing on the log, but this line of code up here caused my app to crash for some reason. So I had to comment it out, and in the final build I just have the rosary count, but the data does persist on that, so I got that working. Okay, so for a quick walkthrough of the app, um, it's pretty simple. The plus button makes the number go up, the minus button makes it go down. It will not go below 0. You can submit your rosaries and it will update the total count. If you check on the log, you can see your most recent submission will be on the bottom. And we can test that again if we go back to home and submit another, let's say 10. It is on the bottom here. And then info, this is just an info tab with some text fields. This is where you would put your information and then it would be sent to the main website. Okay, and for a quick walkthrough of the code, the content view just points to the main view, and then the main view is just a simple tab view pointing to some other views. So if we go to the first tab, home, it goes to home view. This is where I spent most of my time. So one of the main things I want to look at is just the plus button and the submit button. The plus button just calls the add function, and all it does is add 1 to current count. But originally I had it do something similar to what submit does. Submit calls the submit function, and it creates a new variable and sets it equal to item context, view context, and then it allows me to set values to an instance of the item entity. And originally I had add item do something similar to that. So it was like each time you hit the plus button, it was creating a new instance, which wasn't exactly what I was going for. I was trying to make the current count persist so that when you close the app, if you had it set to 3, if you closed the app and reopened it, it would still say 3. But when I tried that, since it created a new instance every time I hit plus, it was like the count was being reset each time, basically. Like my log, that's why when you saw my log in the demonstration, it was just filled with a bunch of 1s at the beginning. because each time I hit plus, it like submitted a new entry basically. So I had to get rid of that and just stuck with a normal state variable and increased that. And if we head over to the log view, it's just a simple list listing the item entities in a for each statement. Info is just a few text fields. I planned on implementing that into the database, like whatever was typed would be added in here and sent, but I did not get around to it. So it is just some simple text fields.